Hi, I'm Phil Hall for BusinessSuperstar.com, and I have something I'd like to raise with you. It's about overtime, specifically unpaid overtime. Now, in the course of every company, there's a project or emergency that comes up that requires people to stay later than they normally should. Now, if your company doesn't have a paid overtime program, how do you compensate those people who are working longer hours to get particular projects finished or crises under control? Do you have a special way of saying thank you, like giving some extra money to take somebody out to dinner, or do you send a gift to somebody? Or are you under the impression that there's nothing wrong with unpaid overtime and this should be expected and your workers should be glad they have a job? Well, if you have the latter category, you have a problem. Because if people are working and they're working longer hours than they've been allocated to work, and you're not compensating them properly, there is a problem. And you're being something of a pig if you're expecting people to work unpaid overtime. I was at a company once and I had told my employer that I needed to leave by a certain time. My employer said, well, sometimes you need to stay later and work overtime. And it's like, well, I'm not being paid for that. And she didn't see what was wrong with it. Well, she didn't see me very much afterwards because I left the company. And don't be surprised that if you find yourself in a situation where you're forcing people to work unpaid overtime, that they decide, hey, I could do better elsewhere. Chances are they will do better elsewhere and they're going to leave you. Now, I'm not saying that people should leave exactly at 5 o'clock on the dot. As I said, sometimes projects need to be taken care of and there are crises that emerge. But if somebody's going to put in an extra effort and stay longer hours to get something done specifically to benefit the company, think of a good way to say thank you, whether it's financial compensation or it's a coupon to a local restaurant or whatever. Just don't say, hey, you have to work overtime and that's that, because that's not going to be taken by a lot of people. Trust me on that one. Peace out.